Hey, Grave here. So, I came back recently to Destiny after a very, very long break after Lightfall. Uh, I came back because friend wanted to do Rights of the Nine. We kind of did that for a bit, and I kind of want to throw my 2 cents in there after this update. My first kind of issue is that the vendors no longer have any sort of real purpose outside of legacy gear for most of them. Zavala gives you the weekly focus for armor and weapons. Rahul is still there for exotic engrams. That's it for him. Uh, Banshee kind of exists as the only bounty giver. Hawthorne also has bounties, but that's clan specific stuff. And then we go on to the portal. The portal is your whole new activity, and well, not really activity, more so director. There is the whole world that exists, but you can't do any of that old content because you're only going to get what's capped at 200. To get your seasonal power, which is above 200, you can only do portal activities, which for the most part is a lot of things you've already done. Or, in the case of the solo section, it is a bunch of sort of low effort new content that is repeatable and replayable, and you can modify that with all sorts of modifiers. Problem is, you're going to run out of doing that really quickly if you decide to grind it. It's sort of a, hi, I'm here for like real quick. And then we also have Crucible, which got slimmed down drastically. A lot of my issues here are that it doesn't feel like there's a lot of content. It feels like they shrunk the content considerably, especially when there's no secondary or auxiliary track that you can look to try and achieve things. I remember the whole each vendor had their own rep track and they had their own unique seasonal weapon. I missed that. I wish that was still here. And also, I got to know Pathfinder for a little bit. Pathfinder for everything but the Pale Heart is gone. It kind of just doesn't give you anything past the soft cap. And all bounties across the game, aside from Banshee and Hawthorne, are gone in exchange for the portal's sort of challenges for both daily and weekly. Uh, then we go to the meat and potatoes of this update outside of the quality of life stuff. So Kepler is a new destination. I have a few things to say about it. It feels like it's just a giant lost sector to a degree, which is good and bad. I don't like how it overly relies on the new mechanics. Their story really drags on and on and on because of the ham-fisted puzzle mechanics. My favorite way to describe the Matter Spark is you looked and you saw how Samus had the morph ability in Metroid, and you kind of just implemented that in Destiny without knowing necessarily how it worked. But I love the whole world tier system. I want to see that expanded out to the rest of the game. The patrol spaces need some more life in them. They're great to go out there and do, especially Pale Heart. There's so much you can do for grinding out there, and there's a lot of varied activities that still exist across the game. It's just kind of it feels like they're deflating a lot of the game, or I would say it's a very soft sunset because of how it works. Uh, but Kepler has these quote unquote mysteries. They're just oversold puzzles with little rewards here and there scattered about. They're oversold. They're overhyped. Uh, the story I think is okay overall. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's terrible. It's sort of it's some. My best way to really look at it is that I don't hate any of the new characters. I liked Auron. I tolerate Lodi. It's not the case of like with Final Fantasy 14. I really hated what's her name because of how annoying she ended up being throughout the entirety of the campaign. I didn't see any real terribly wasted potential characters. I am just confused why they kind of wanted to do the whole existential crisis or midlife crisis with a character again with Ikora. The whole arc with her kind of just I don't feel like went anywhere. It was mostly there to help establish Lodi as a character, which I get. I just wish Ikora finally got some development for her character. I don't see a lot really going on for her here. As for the whole new armor and gun system, I like the new system. I wish we got more back to crafting because I liked the crafting system back from Witch Queen. That's another thing. Which queen had better puzzles than this game? Well, than this expansion. I'm just gonna leave it there. So armor and weapons are, what is this, 2, 3.0, whatever. I don't know what iteration they're gonna call it. They call it. So there's a new tiering for weapons and armor. Armor, I think, is a great add-on. It actually helps you build up and focus certain things you want. I also like the way they've shifted the stats to all be relatively meaningful, despite the fact that some of them I think were broken. But with the update, today's the 22nd. I'm recording this, so with the recent update, I hope they fixed it. I didn't check the patch notes. I like how there's the ability to specifically focus equipment. I like how there's guns now where you've got different tiers where you can actually acquire different things. Issue now is to me is that I wish there was more crafting in the game. Crafting kind of has just been relegated to exotic only guns. Oh, and it's just I don't like that, but it is kind of what it is. I like the new perk system. I like the new stat system. I think it works out really well. Kepler is kind of just. I wish there was more to do on Kepler. Outside of the world tiers I think are great. I think Kepler kind of needs more going on. The world kind of there feels dead because the only real activity there is the sieve, and that's not even a thing you can walk up to and start joining other players and doing it. It's a you queue up for it event style of event. I kind of don't like that. It just takes away from actually being in the patrol space. There just not being any activities there, I think, kind of kills it to a degree. But I do like how there's certain NPCs you can interact with a bit. I do like how there's side quests scattered about, even if they are very simple, very low effort things. It's nice, and they kind of expand on certain characters in different ways. As for the abilities, Mattermorph, I really like. I tolerate Matter Spark. I really don't like it. And then there is the Relocator Cannon, which I could take or leave it. I think that in general, the new abilities we get here for the puzzle mechanics are really used too much within the campaign, where it just wears it out. Matter Spark, I think, would be fine if it was a little more sparingly used. I don't like how they kind of ham-fist it everywhere they can, and it drags the mission on and on because I do not like using Matter Spark. It just to me it feels like it's too. Is it slippery of the word, or is it just I'm moving too fast? I just don't like the way it feels. But if I really had to rate the game, the update as a whole with the expansion and all that, probably like a low B, like a low B, a high C, something like that. Like 6 or 7 out of 10. It's not. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's got its own problems, but I hope that if you came and you listened through all of this, I hope you can take something away. Until next time, have a great day.